again. I wonder when the last time Kane Williamson waited this long to get out there and have a bat. A lot of intensity there. You're ready to go.
You just can't sit there, can you? Just, you know, you can't. You just can't sit there and wait. Oh.
You well bowled.
Well, he's so good, he plays 3 bowlers at once.
Ooh, bit of extra pace there. He even looks good shadow batting, doesn't he?
Flashing your haircut too, by the looks of it.
Did you use vision?
In vision?
Shocked, Rigger.
I had some great balls bowled at me in my mind, I really did.
So are you saying that you would see, say, getting dismissed or not middling the ball?
Yeah, I'd try to visualise Glenn McGrath coming in and he'd bowl and he'd just bowl this thing that would pitch on leg and at the top of off. But you do use it, actually. The late, great Martin Crowe talked about when he was in England, and he had a magnificent series over there that he was talking about, and he was very ill leading up to the Test match. And he was a big preparer. He loved to prepare, put 100 into everything, and was big on professionalism. And it was really, he was really worried. He just lay there basically in his fever and just visualised. He did, and he went out and got 100.
So one thing I find so intriguing about cricket as a batter, and you would have done a lot of these, Ashley Ross was big on this in New Zealand Cricket Academy, where it was around, not visualisation, but you would go out and it would be like, what arousal level did you need to be in the nets to be at your best? And so if you were an 8 out of 10, what would you physically do in terms of your running at that point?
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. Some players, even though it might be a Test match and you want to defend, you need to be quite pumped. Other players need to be quite relaxed. Everyone finds what works for them. I actually found that what worked for me was actually being really pumped up. And I discovered that when Otago was going through a rough trot, and I remember the coach at the time, we were batting in these dark nets, the Eagles Centre in Dunedin, and he gave the bowlers new balls, and he said, I've had enough of this, get in there, and you guys need to harden up. Put us batters in there and basically told it, I want you bowlers to knock their heads off. And there was no way of shirking it. If you want to play for two, you had to front. And I can remember I was so pumped up going to the nets. I actually batted really well. And I was a poor net batter. So I started to work out, actually, I need to be pumped up when I go back. So then you find ways of actually doing that. Sometimes if you're a little bit flat out there, you might have to actually pick a fight with someone in the opposition to get pumped up. Wait on! Scored a lot of runs, 221 without loss. Actually scored a lot of runs against Central Districts, and I can only put that down to the fact that Mark Greatmatch was in the opposition, and I had no problem starting a fight with him. Now the president, he's been rewarded. Here I am commentating, he's the president of New Zealand Cricket. So we know who won that battle.
Well, you moved on to a TV show picking on the Prime Minister, so I don't know if it was an upgrade or a downgrade. That is true also. But it's intriguing, isn't it? Because you can also be in a really low state, sick or really fatigued and tired, and then your brain doesn't think as much. And so sometimes you can actually bat at your best then as well.
Yeah, I think you want to be. Everyone talks about when you actually have your best performance and talk about being in that zone is almost you didn't really think about it, you just did. But I think to be able to just do, you need to put a lot of preparation in, so that when you go out there, you know everything's been loaded into the computer, and it's good. It's good input, and then you just press enter and away you go. But if you put poor data in, you get rubbish out, don't you? Rubbish in, rubbish out. Well, when I used to actually use a little bit of the visualization as well, it was quite handy. Was if you had dreadful practice facilities and they weren't helping you. From time to time, you had to go and face the music to learn to survive. But sometimes the practice facilities are substandard, so you might have a small bat in the nets and get out before you're destroyed. And then maybe even in your pads, go and sit under a tree and go through it on your head. It's a sort of thing. And you talk to some players who talk about some of the greats, and they will talk about them doing that extra, putting that extra work in. Things just don't happen by chance. They don't happen just before you got ability, because you got ability as well. Right on.
Well, I've had confirmation that the longest Kane Williamson has had to wait to come into bat at number 3 in Test was 69.5 overs versus Bangladesh in 2019. And you wouldn't believe it, but he actually went on to get a 200 in that game. 200 not out, so it might be a good omen for him.
Oh, I feel sorry for Bangladesh. Sometimes, and I can't see it happening with Kane Williamson, but sometimes you might actually, especially with the lower middle, you might swat. Oh, nicely bowled. No result. Yeah, so I have heard, and some guys have done it as like they will. All right, I'll do between now and tea, so I'll be the next in. If wicket falls in, I'll be next in. So you got 2 guys padded up, so that one of the batters can just go and chill out, because you do use up nervous energy if you're not a good waiter. Some guys are fine; they just. Our colleague Craig McMillan, who's now coaching, he just used to sleep in the changing shed. And then and when a wicket fell, would wake him up. Oh, a little edge. No, there's not. A little bit of excitement. 2 past the bat, actually. So some encouragement. Both of them occurring at double Nelson as well, 2-2-2. See, there's still some movement in there of the pitch. That ball's moved away.
Something we've seen a lot more of, Kemar Roach in particular, is bowling a little bit wider. He's had a lot of success coming back into Tom Latham. A couple of balls ago, that ball coming back in. Talk about nerves. Well, he's in the 90s once again, Tom Latham. Still 222 with that loss. Lucy Boucher there from the Northern Brave, making the most of the nets being available here. Seals to continue. Well,
that was an interesting shot. What would you call this, Katie?
Beautifully bumped down for one. He's almost looked to pull that and he's just held the bat on it. Seals goes, come on, give me a break. Tell you what, last year Devon Conway was probably chopping that one onto the stump, so just seeing the confidence and timing that he's got. Looking early, a really nice toss to win here for New Zealand. Question is how much will this wicket break up over the next 4 and a bit days.
not the worst thing to be doing, is it? On that Thursday afternoon.
Just wonder if there's been a slight change of plan here. They've got a slip put in place, the gully in place. They've still got that deep square leg, deep fine leg, but just looks like the plan's potentially changed to get up there, get him driving, angling back and around the wicket from Seals.
This is where Neil Wagner would come into his own. I hope he's not listening. We don't want a big head or anything. But, you know, in these situations, he could come on, he could bowl your 10-over spell of short stuff, something different. Well, I'm not saying sort of buy a wicket, but actually just change things up. And he did it. He did it better than anyone else. But for some reason, no one's really been able to replicate what he did.
You must get a sense his accuracy was that good, wasn't it? I look back on the last test with Hope and how he was actually nailed quite a lot in the badge, whereas it's something that it looked like Wags was always trying to target that back shoulder of the badge of the batters, and that's the hardest one to play, is that length.
I think it's because he could actually bowl a length that was a genuine bouncer length, but have it just level off a bit. So you know, it wasn't always too high, so he could just keep going at it, bowl six out of 6 and over, as opposed to getting, you know, called for, well, there's your 2 balls that are too high.
He's pierced that gap so well all day, Devon Conway. Just squared off and said, here we go, straight between those field.
He'd picked out the field a couple of times, but this has been a feature of the innings for me. As it's driving through that cover region. There's 2 players quite tight in there. And a square cover and probably a genuine cover. So the gap has got smaller, and he's found it.
$228 for none.
It's just been parked around this low 90s here for a wee while. Tom Nathan. So they're struggling to contain Conway, but here they got to go. You know, we've got a chance here. He definitely he knows that. 100 is close.
Cast our mind back to when he got the 100 at Hagley and the emotion that he had. He had a lean trot for a year, 18 months period of time, but saw the emotions around getting that 100.
I just sense that he's wanting to get through this next day. Just the way that he's not prancing around, but West Indies, there's a little game within a game here, and it might, if you can win this little battle, maybe force Latham to go searching.
And I think that's why the accuracy of the bowling is going to be so important. It touched on Roach. Just look at these areas that he's bowled. A lot full and wide, then finally got that length right, but just hasn't been consistent in terms of the areas that he's looking. That last one well wide. It's felt his success, Roach, is when he comes tighter to the stumps. He bowls it with that sort of angle back into that off stump going away line, creating the opportunity with that outside edge. But today he's bowled a lot. I think I'd be surprised if he's actually hit the stumps once today. Roach, maybe once. I know Latham is so good in terms of his decision-making to leave the ball. A leave sometimes for him is as good as a drive, but look at Roach today. Yep. Maybe those two bottom ones on the left are the ones who would have been hitting the stumps, but just see where his areas have been. Quite wide. Boundaries on those wider side as well. Not what we typically have seen from Roach this series. Been very accurate, creating opportunities. Let's not get his 5-wicket, forget his 5-wicket haul he got as well. Can he spot that gap coming back in, create the moment? There we go, well bowled. 228 with that loss.
You know, what you saw there was the advantage of actually bowling a succession of balls, a series of balls at one batsman. And so the one that was the change-up, he'd earned the right to come straight there, Roach, and bowl the in-swinger through good controlled containing bowling around that off stump. Then he had the right to bring it back. So you can work a plan. And that's something that they've been unable to do. When that is the first maiden since the 27th over. Very nearly snuck it through. Now you got to restart. Do it again.
Feeling a moment here. Few dot balls. As we say, can they go harder? Can they just keep that consistency?
Well, Seals then has to go, you know what, my mate at the other end just bowled a really good set. I need to back that up now. So can he find it? Can he find that little bit of energy and focus to deliver a good set from his end now, off the back of his mate bowling well?
Close, just enough power on that as well. Devon Conway's just staying slightly leg side of it at the moment, looking to try and access that offside.
Yeah, not fully in control, and it was a little close. I wouldn't say that was a particularly poor delivery. And that could have easily gone to gully. It was catchable height. Oh, it's his highest score in New Zealand now too, Devon Conway.
Scored all of his 100 in the first innings, not 100 in his second innings in Test cricket.
No run.
Just have a look at this from Devon Conway. Just watch that back foot. Just looking to stay leg side of the ball. Ends up being squared on a bit. Extra bit of pace as well. He has changed his stance to Jayden Seales, where he does get more deeper in the crease, just to allow him to have a little bit more time. Just wonder if he said, okay, the spaces through that backward point area, got deep square leg, deep fine leg out as well, to try and create some opportunity score through the offside, and anything down leg side's a free one for him. That change of angles from Seals as well to say, okay, then if I can bring the ball back in, we've seen the stumps are in play there. Guided away beautifully in the gap. No second slip in place, and he moves to 96, Tom Latham.
Yeah, Seals, I don't think, was in a particularly good mood before this ball, and this probably isn't going to help, is it? It was controlled, though. I don't think this was an edge, a genuine edge. Yeah, just angled down there, so frustrating. They hate coughing up boundaries down there, fast bowlers. Oh, the world's against them sometime, isn't it?
Big appeal. I think the angle doesn't allow that to straighten up for him. Austin Chase says, oh, well, we could give it a go just in case. No. Shook his head. Save it for another batter. 237 with that loss.
From where Mark Richardson would rather be, out on the waves. I think there might be a few bowlers out here as well who wouldn't mind a wee dip tonight. It's been hard work, hot work. These two have been resolute. Brief moment of excitement last over, and that looked to be going down, and indeed was, missing the stumps, but a rare glimpse of excitement. Well, how fitting. He waits and he waits and he waits. Kane Williamson, he went on to score a double century. I hope that is not an omen for our West Indies fans watching around the world. We welcome you. Cut away, and Latham brings up a century in trademark fashion, his second of the series. He has been special today, Ian Bishop.
It is a terrific knock from the captain, who won the toss, chose to lead from the front in batting first. Weathered the storm this morning when a few deliveries went past the outside edge. This is a high-class knock, not always straightforward.
He has defended well, he has left well, he has picked and chosen his moments. He put away the sweep shot against Roston Chase. He's enjoyed batting out there today with Devon Conway, who accelerated on behalf of this partnership after lunch, allowing Tom Latham to stay in his natural rhythm. And both batters past 100. It is a rarity. Oh, it's an inch short. 2019, the last time two openers both scored a century in a test match for New Zealand. Tom Latham was involved that day. Raval, the other batter. Kane Williamson again was waiting for a very long time. Jeet Raval. Still plying his trades. Gee. Just Tom Latham and Mark Richardson. Two others. Two batsmen only from New Zealand, should I say, who have featured twice. With two openers going past 100. If that makes sense. Makes sense to Richard Isaacs. Richard Isaacs makes sense of the numbers for us. Right on. 242 with ours. Anderson Phillip has been handed the ball. He's going to come around the wicket, which intrigues me, Ian Bishop. He created the most trouble, I thought, certainly the most moments of discomfort for both batters coming over the wicket, angling across the left-hander.
Following Devon Conway, New Zealand's captain has brought up his 15th Test match 100. Been a little bit more patient before branching out into his shots of aggression. Scored in his typical areas, square of the wicket.
It's been a good series. Tom Latham chopping down on this. Heroic from Latham, really, in Christchurch, when you consider he also had to keep wicket. Didn't quite reach those giddy heights in Wellington, but he's back here. This is Latham's scoring areas today. That 1-6, but look at those boundary fours. All through the offside, plenty behind square, on the cut shot, and what does that tell us about some of the bowling today?
He's probably got to a point where these two are sailing along smoothly that Roston Chase could probably go to a couple of overs, just do something different from someone like Kevin Hodge. No, it's two left-handed batters at the crease, and that's perhaps why, if they're bowling from the appropriate end, let's say from the Anderson Phillip end. Conway certainly will look to take it on and hit it into the wind.
Edge, and that flies away for 4 more. And you can see the frustration. It is writ large on the faces of the West Indies pacemen today. Another slip in there, and that is a wicket. I just wonder, when you're in this situation, Ian Bishop, how hard it is for a captain to be aggressive. Add another catcher in close, even off his own bowling today. I thought he might have one under the lid. Created a couple of moments of doubt, a couple of false shots.
It's not been plain sailing at all for Tom Latham. At times he's played and missed. And then, as you mentioned, Anderson Phillip has asked 1 or 2 questions. He hasn't been able to string it together consistently. It's hard to know how many slips to get in place when runs have been flowing. 247 without loss, and he's got 2 waiting. It's just they're staggered.
Tough spot to be, 247 without loss. Partnership runs just behind Fleming and Astle now, these two. They've done it in quick time too, 49 innings. Martin Crowe and Andrew Jones there just took 28 innings between them. Classy players both. Justin Graves, can he make the breakthrough? Cutting again. 4 more, same melody, same tune. 250 up for New Zealand.
Too many of these, whether it's back of a length and wide or full and driven, but they have a right to enjoy what they've done, having made the decision to bat first this morning. Outstanding.
.250 up for just the 4th time in New Zealand Test cricket history. Records tumbling here at the Bay Oval. Still a long way to go to catch Glenn Turner and Terry Jarvis. I think 387. Back in 1972, that is the record against the West Indies. That ship only arrived today. They haven't stuck around. In and out on the cruise ship. I was fortunate enough to be at the main beach this morning at dawn as that ship sailed into the harbour. They haven't stuck around for long. 2 easy runs, not improving the mood of anyone.
Yeah, I think that'll frustrate Graves, and it did frustrate him as he shrugged his shoulders when it happened, because you look at the field, it's a 7-2 offside field. And so the plan here is for him to bowl maybe off stump, but more certainly outside off stump, asking the batters to hit into that offside, not so much leg side.
Yeah, I think the annoyance was internalised. I don't think he was holding his fielder to account there. It's more got the delivery wrong.
So they're trying one or two little things, but I think the beef that they'll have with themselves at the end of the day is 33 fours and 1 6 so far today. They'll say too many boundary balls. As well as the opening partnership has been, it's been glorious.
There's a fiddle again. How many times today on that line, over the wicket, across the left-hander? The opportunity is there. 2-5-3 for naught.
Oh, I love hearing.
Two back for the hook or the pull shot. It's full and standing there as if he owns the place is Tom Latham. It's the corridor. I'm sure that they will look back tonight, Darren, Sammy and co, and they'll say there, that spot, every time you put one on there, suddenly the uncertainty revealed itself. Edge dropped.
He was going to his left and going down. He was well up and then couldn't get down to his left in time. It's the second catch he's put down on this tour, very unlike him. And that's another one that he'll feel that he should have held on to.
Wait on. And you feel for Anderson Phillip. He's been under the pump today. Get ones on the spot, angles in, moves away from Latham. It was a good delivery. Latham has played that shot a lot. And you have to say that for a keeper of his quality at this level, Bish, that's regulation.
Should have gobbled that up. I would love to hear Katie Martin's view on it, but he just looked as though he stood up very, very early.
Hold on.
Should I say, stood up very tall, very early, and then couldn't go down. Easier to sort of come up with it rather than go up to down.
Yes.
Single to finish the over. It's 255 without loss. Bit of respite, few fluids. And these two going along nicely. And there's the drop. It's a good delivery. Perfect angle into Latham. Enough off the deck. Drawn into the cup. And Tevin, in luck, was in and out. Katie Martin's joined us. Marto, what do you make of that?
Well, probably a bit of a tight catch, but his inside foot goes on the inside, so automatically his weight is going that side and he gets tall in his stance, so it's harder for him to go down. Just watch that right foot automatically go on the inside initially, and then he gets wide in terms of his stance, so it doesn't allow him to have any push off to be able to get his head in line. You see him keeping here. He's standing quite wide because of the angle that Greaves gets. He's standing wider, trying to take it on the inside. But just on that one, he got his foot inside and then ended up being quite wide with his stance. Some players, you can just see him motioning in the background as well. Some players don't necessarily like going down low to one side versus the other, and that sometimes can be your eyesight, what your preference is in terms of where you like to catch it nice and low. But yeah, just not in the position and too tall to be able to actually push off to be able to stay low and collect that ball.
Off the pads again. If the lesson has not been learned by now, it may never be. He has put that away every single time today, Conway.
It's a high quality shot. And it's a risk on getting onto the stumps with that leg side field that we talked about. Only two fielders and only one in front of square in Johan Lane at mid-on.
Graves. It's a better line again. It's just feast or famine at the moment. When you see it and it's right on point, you realise how troubling it could be. But it feels, Bish, as if it's 1 out of 6. 2 at best.
Our ball tracking, and if they are to be believed, and they'll not speak to me after this, say that 17 times the ball, 18 now because he had an outside edge put down, the ball has gone past the outside edge today or hit the outside edge.
That is a very small percentage, considering the number of balls that have been bowled today.
What it says, and if you talk about the ones that have been edged through the slip cordon before, you can add a few of those on, right? It says that there's something in the pitch, not as much as Wellington, obviously, and we'll find out a little bit more once both teams have bowled on the surface. But it is clear that the West Indies will feel the excellence of the batting is one thing, but we haven't been at our best.
Gets on top of that, sends it out to deep point once more. Conway, he's profited in that area today. He's batted with genuine elegance as well. 260 without loss. Well, there's the Viking Orion departing Mount Maunganui. Next stop, Napier. On its way to Sydney for New Year's on a Christmas cruise around New Zealand. New Zealand on a Christmas cruise of their own here. What has been joy to watch is the way Conway has come back into form. He's showing those glimpses throughout the one-day series. A couple of innings in this test series where he's got away to a start. And then here today, he's managed to put it all together. Oh, that's in the air and it lands safely, would you believe it? Drew the false shot. It's a rare one today for Conway, and no one was there. Oh, some days, this game.
Don't think John Campbell could have gotten to it, but he was on his heels. He didn't start off after it immediately. It's worth recalling, yes, Anderson Phillip has been expensive, but at times unlucky.
Oh, a metre to the left, and John Campbell takes that. He had a catch drop last over. It's been a luckless 10 minutes for Anderson Phillip.
And they're harsh lessons, but as a bowler, having been there, you just have to keep trundling, keep believing that if you do the little things right, that in another session of play or another period of play, that the cricketing gods can look down on you and smile and say, we've given you a hard time for 2 sessions, we're going to bless you in this one.
I thought the benediction had come a little earlier with a few drops of rain. But he continues. He runs in hard, Anderson Phillip, and he has been expensive today, but to me, he looks up for the fight.
He's very fit. I remember he jumped the hoardings in Hagley when he came on as a substitute fielder. I can't remember who it is said that Jamaica have a number of good athletes. He's actually from Trinidad, very near where Jaden Seals lives. And he does confess that he comes from an athletic background. And if he weren't a cricketer, he wanted to be an athlete. He hasn't got an ounce of fat on him. Very fit guy, and will work for you all day.
Pulls that away. That's a lovely stroke again. Latham now starting to access that leg side. He's been almost exclusively playing to the offside today.
Right.
265 without loss. Roston Chase with 11 overs remaining until the new ball can be taken. Back in the mix, and there have been moments where Roston Chase has created trouble for both of these batters. Intrigued now what the field setting will be for Chase. Spread far and wide. Remember, he had a leg slip in the last session. Just a slip this time. Still no one in closer than that. Chipped away to Longle, just the one.
One of the other things they can think about with Roston Chase for Anderson Phillip bowling from the other end with the wind coming off the left-hander's leg side is to get that leg side feel for that pull shot occasionally, the type of feel they had for Seals. And Seals went with the short ball plan. A couple of guys behind, square, short and deep, and just mix it up with his off-stump length that he's bowled, where he's beat the bat a few times, and get the short ball high, but with protection.
Just happy to manipulate Chase. When he's erred wide, he has been sent to the boundary, but largely he's just bowled stump the lines. But again, 3 singles off the over, so neither batter feels like he's been tied down. And that is just the sort of pressure release that Roston Chase did not need in this over.
He will know too often today. He's done that. 2-7-2 without loss. Eight fours today off his 13 overs, and on a number of occasions after giving away that boundary late in the over, as this is, he's actually nearly eaten his hat once he's taken it from the umpire. So he's frustrated himself with these loose deliveries. There he goes again, another one at the back end of the over.
Won't be drawn, Tom Latham, into that. Now 2 men back. So there is a short ball field in place with that man at deep square and hind leg back on the boundary. If Anderson Phillip wants to go there and draw that pull shot, and Tom Latham wants to play. Wait! It's on the toes this time. Ooh, that's got him. It's got him, and Latham might want to have this checked out. You can see how quickly the hand came off the bat. That is a stinger. 274 without loss.
Rupees 117 received on PhonePe.